Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our masterclass. You are the one. Um, Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Whether you're coming from, whether it's morning or afternoon for you, depending on where you're coming from. Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to show up for yourself and trying to learn more about the greatness inside of you. And so, before I start, I just want to give a quick quick house rules is if you do have any questions about accessing the ebook or the 30-day growth challenge or any of the assets, make sure to ask your questions by emailing us at support at weareprosperity.org. You can go ahead and ask us any questions, and then we'll have one of our team members help you. Okay, so to start, you are the one, right? Many of you have never heard this before, or some have, but I want you to know by the end of today, I want you to know that you will understand and recognize that you are the one, right? I truly believe that every human has the potential for greatness, and that's why we're here, right? Every human being has a potential for greatness, and whether you know this or not, whether you kind of agree, right? Maybe some of you are already kind of disagreeing with what I'm telling you, but with what we covered, with what we're going to cover today, you will see that you are the one. Right. So who's this for? Right. This masterclass, who's going to benefit the most? Right. It's really for someone who wants more, who might not be where they want to be, but they want more. They understand that there's something great inside of them, but they just haven't been able to break free or tap into that, right? You see an image here of a person rolling up this big boulder up a mountain, right? You're struggling, you're trying to get something, like whatever that goal is or that desire, right? But you're not there yet. You're not able to get there. As you can see here, someone breaking free from their chains, right? Some of us have limiting beliefs. Some of us struggle with the fear of failure. Some of us might have this sense of feeling of that I'm not good enough. And because of that, they just you're not able to take the risk to do something, to start the business, to, stay consistent with, improving your house or whatever it may be, right? So I want you to know, if that's you, you are the one that's going to benefit the most. And definitely a lot of you who may not relate to this, you are going to get a lot out of today. I guarantee that. But for the most part, it's going to allow you to see that the greatness inside of you is there, but being able to unlock it and use it to get to where you want to go ultimately. Right. So who is Felipe Rangel, right? Who am I? Right. I'm a son, I'm a brother, but also I'm a fiance, right? I got a couple of images here of my family, my siblings and my mom on the left side, and a picture of my fiance and I, who we just got engaged recently. So I'm beyond happy and blessed. But more importantly, I'm an author, right? I'm an author of the book called Break Free and Begin Your Journey to Prosperity. And the focus of that book is really to help you break free from limiting beliefs, the fear of failure, any self-doubt, self-sabotage, to help you be able to tap into your inner greatness and live a more prosperous life. And the thing is, before, where we are today in this position of time, things are definitely a lot better. But before today, things weren't always great, right? Growing up, I lacked a lot. I lacked self-confidence. I lacked self-confidence. I didn't know who I truly was. I had the sense of, I wasn't good enough, right? And many of you might be able to relate to this, right? Whether it's still to the day where you feel like you're not good enough. And let me tell you, don't worry, understanding that what you're going through right now isn't who you truly are, right? And this is just a process to be able to recognize and overcome, right? And we have that power, right, to be able to overcome things. So I felt like I wasn't good enough, right? I had this internal war, if you can think of it like that, right? Where I knew that I wanted more. I knew that I could be and do more, but I just didn't know how to access that greatness. Essentially, I was unaware of my inner greatness. And today I want to help you become aware of it and be able to tap into that so that you can use it to better your life. So today, my goal is to help you discover who you truly are, right? Develop the success formula that you need to get the goals and desires that you want, right? That you've tried to work towards, but you just can't get there, right? You start but never finish, right? And then lastly, I want to help you design the person that you need to become that gets all those things that you desire, right? Wouldn't that be amazing? To be the person that gets everything that you desire, right? And I don't want to dive too deep into that right now, but just imagine, right? Just by being the person, everything that you desire just comes to you, right? Wouldn't that be amazing? And so to start us off, I want to ask you all, and you can go ahead and put this in the chat. If you're watching the live, you can just stop and ask yourself this, but who are you, right? Who are you? So go ahead, you can put this in the chat. Who are you, right? Who are you? I got a couple of people putting their name, okay? Their names, where they're coming from, okay? Shout out California, okay, beautiful, okay, right? Who are you, right? And interestingly enough, a lot of people are putting their names or they're putting where they're coming from, right? Who are you? And the thing is this, when I ask who are you, many people will say their name, their height, X, Y, Z, things that are physical, their body, right? Their names, who they identify with, right? But when I ask you, who are you? I'm referring to your greatness, this essence of greatness, right? Your potential. And as you can see here, I have an image, right, of a baby and her mom and the mom, right? And I want to ask you this, right? You can go ahead and put this in the chat as well. Is when you have a newborn baby, right, or a baby who's, year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, right? What is their potential, right? What is a newborn baby's potential, right? I have a niece, she's 2 years old, and she's a genius in my mind, right? What's her potential, right? At a certain point, I got a lot of people saying unlimited, limited, unlimited, okay, unlimited, unlimited. Yeah, unlimited, right? And interestingly enough, when we're young, right, we have a lack of awareness of the difference between success and failure, right? We don't know what the difference is, right? For the most part, failure doesn't ever we don't recognize failure as something that is bad, right? If you think about a baby who's learning to walk, they just kind of start wobbling, right? And after wobbling, they start kind of forming some steps and then fall, right? But after they fall, they just kind of keep doing it over and over and again. And never in their mind does it cross, I don't know how to do this thing. It's just you just do, right? And then at a certain point, they just learn how to walk, right? But it takes time. The thing is, a human's potential is unlimited, right? And even though as a kid or as a baby, learning to walk, you fail and then you get back up, or you fall and you get back up, our potential is still unlimited, right? And even to this day, as an adult, our potential is unlimited, right? The thing is, many of us have heard certain things, have experienced certain things that make us believe that our potential, that your potential is limited, right? And so one mistake that many people make is that as they get older, they feel or they believe, based on whatever the experiences, the circumstances, that they are that circumstance, right? They can't overcome that. And I want to help you be able to break free from that today, right? So who are you? Right? I want to help you be able to get into practicing some of these incantations, or help you be able to start accepting the essence of who you are, this greatness, right? And as a way to think about this is, we are all a seed of greatness, right? Some of you have never done this before, and I totally understand, but I want to invite you to do this with me, because I'm telling you, it's going to help you, right? Let's say I had a seed of an apple seed, right? and I planted that apple seed, right? As I took care of that apple seed and I grew it and gave it the sun, the water, and everything that it needs, it would essentially give me apples, right? Apples, right? That would be the fruit that it gives. We are seeds of greatness, right? And so what happens is when we start hearing things or we start limiting ourselves based on experiences and things like that, when you plant us into the wrong soil, we can't give the fruit that we can give, right? It's like if I was to take that same apple seed and put it into I don't know, let's say cement or something, and I don't give it enough water, nutrients that it needs, it will never grow. And so for the most part, right, any of you who are struggling, who are trying to start it but never finish, or have the fear of failure, is because your environment might be off, right? You might not have the necessary nutrients to grow, right? To become the person that you need to be, right? The greatest version of yourself. And so to start us off, I want us all, whether you're watching this now live or the recording, just say this with me, right? You can keep your mics muted just so we don't have any echo. But to start us off, I want us all to say, I am greatness, right? And I want you to say it 5 times, right? I am greatness, right? I am greatness. I am greatness. I am greatness. And I want you to do it with a feeling of being great, right? Because you already are great. Like there's nothing that I can do to take it away from you. No one can do it, right? If I have an apple seed and I plant it and I give it the right soil and water and everything, but I want it to give me oranges, there's nothing that I can do to take that apple seed, right? With other than taking it out and putting in an orange seed, right? To get oranges, right? And so for you, greatness is already inside of you. I can't do anything to take it away from you, right? But essentially is what happens is we sometimes believe that we are less, that we're not good enough. And then that's what's robbing us from being able to express our greatest version, right? So to keep going, I want us all to go ahead and say these right here. To the next bullet point is, I am victorious. I am unstoppable. I am loving. I am amazing. I am powerful. Right. So I want you to go ahead and say that to yourself and feel it. I want you to feel, right? Think about, what does it feel like to be victorious, right? I am victorious. I am unstoppable. I am loving. I am amazing. I am powerful, right? And again, you are a seed of greatness. Let me know how that felt, by the way. You can go ahead and put it in the comments. Let me know what did you think about that if this is your first time doing it, right? Loved it, felt different, weird. And that happens, right? You have to be able to get out of your comfort zone to be able to grow, right? And sometimes what happens is leading into today is, or into this slide, is that what happens is many of us are so into, beliefs that our parents give us, thoughts that our parents, our grandparents, older generations that may not even be here today, that we operate out of those beliefs that they don't serve us anymore, right? They just don't, right? And so if you can imagine, right, how many of you here have an iPhone, right, or a smartphone? Go ahead, you can raise your hand, put in the chat, I do, whatever. Let me know. Okay, we got a lot of people. What about how many of you have a Samsung Android? Okay, okay, perfect. Right. So we have people, most of the people here have a smartphone, right? And I don't know about you, but so I have an iPhone, right? Recently, maybe like 2 weeks ago, I had the most recent update that they gave out, whatever it was. And if you could just picture it, right? Most phone updates are to help fix any bugs, whatever else they have to fix to help the phone work better, right? Faster, smarter, so that it can do what we want it to do, right? To do calls and text, use apps and all that stuff, right? And I would say maybe twice a year or minimum, right? My phone will update, right? To always consistently be up to date, right? To be its best that it can be, right? For the use that I have for it, right? But let me ask you this. right? And I want you to think about this, right? When was the last time you upgraded yourself, right? Because our phones are doing it all the time, right? Our laptops are doing this all the time, right? Some of you are probably watching me via a laptop, right? I literally had an update on my laptop this week, right? And it notifies me, hey, you got to update your laptop. But when was the last time you upgraded yourself? When was the last time you upgraded your thoughts, your beliefs, your habits? When was the last time you upgraded yourself? I want you to think about that, right? It's interesting, right? Because I think in life they never really talk about that, or in schools and things like that, they never say, hey, you know what? Maybe what you have to do is upgrade your belief system, right? You have to upgrade your habits. You have to become more, right? That's not a thing that many people talk about. And I want you to know that that's going to be the key. You have to first start off by upgrading yourself, right? Because what happens is many people, right? And before I even share that, if you could just imagine, if you remember, there was a hamster wheel in the very beginning of the slides. That might be you, right? And so the thing is this, you might, you might be joining us today and you're like, I want to work on my health, but every time I start, I never finish, or something happens and I self-sabotage. Or you're someone who wants to find, let's say, a partner, but because growing up you heard, you know, your parents or people saying that, all men are dogs or whatever, X, Y, or Z, and you find someone, right, and truly they love you or they care for you, but somehow or some way you figure a way to end the relationship, right? You're literally in this hamster wheel doing the same thing over and over again, right? You want this desire, you want this goal, but because you keep doing the same thing, because you believe the same thing, you haven't upgraded your thoughts, you haven't upgraded your habits, you're going to continue to get the same result over and over and over again, right? And just to put this in perspective, if you see that image right here, we have the thoughts that lead to actions, actions leading to results, and results leading to beliefs, right? And that's our mindset, right? We have a mindset. I have a mindset, you have a mindset, everyone has to have a mindset, right? What's the difference between person A who believes that they can do it, and what's the difference between person B who believes that they can't do it, right? It's their mindset. And if you're person A, I invite you to upgrade yourself so that you can go from being someone who believes that they can't do it to I can do it, right? And to give a quick example, I want you to think about it like this, right? Let's say so, and I don't know if any of you have ever done this or have ever heard someone say this, but quickly, some people might say, "Oh, I'm not good at that. Oh, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at this. Oh, yeah, I've never. Oh, that's not for me." Right? People just, right? And I don't know if you ever stopped and kind of think like, "Wait, what do you mean by like you're not good at this or that?" Right? And I've helped some of my family and friends, and whenever we talk, they might throw things like that. Oh yeah, no, I'm not. That's not for me. Oh, I'm not good at. Oh, public speaking. That's no. Oh no, right? Um, but if you think about it, let's say someone believed that, right? That's their thought. If I asked someone who believed or had this thought, oh, I'm not good enough, or oh yeah, public speaking, I'm terrible at it, they most likely, if you train them, right, you practice with them, you help them, you gave them the blueprint of how to speak, how to communicate, right? They went up in front of an audience, they would probably freak out because they believe that they're not good enough, or that they're not good at public speaking. So their actions would be, get nervous, hyperventilate, whatever it is, stutter, and the results would be that they do a poor job, right? What happens is most people who say that I'm not this or I'm not that, or oh, I will never, whatever, I will never be that, will usually take poor actions, right? They have bad habits, they don't show up, they don't do the thing that they're supposed to get better, right? And as a result, they, let's say, do bad giving a public a speech. They fail the test or whatever it may be. They start but never finish. They don't get the results that they desire. And as a result, that them not getting the result will immediately reaffirm the belief that they have about that thought, right? Oh, see, I told you you're a terrible public speaker, right? See, I told you you're dumb, you're not good at math, right? But you just never practiced. You actually never took the time to actually study enough to do well on the test, or whatever it may be. And what happens is it's this constant cycle, right? You say that you're not good at this, or you will never be this, or whatever, right? You take your actions will literally be a direct representation of what you believe, and that action will give you poor results. Those poor results are going to immediately reaffirm what you believe, right? So you have to upgrade yourself. You have to. And if there's anything that you take from today, it is that you have to upgrade yourself. Within the book, Break Free and Begin Your Journey to Prosperity, there's literally 5 key parts that you can upgrade yourself, right? It breaks down everything that you need to do, the question you need to ask yourself, and so you can go ahead and start there. But hopefully you see now the importance of upgrading yourself, right? Going back to who are you, right? Some key mistakes people make, and hopefully now you can kind of see what I'm talking about, is that one, many people, right, and this might be you, right, you accept what others say about you as the truth, right? Like this is universal, right? We love our parents, and growing up we accept everything that they say because they are our parents, right? And not only that, but maybe to an extent adults, right? Sometimes people might say, oh, you will never be this, you're just like your dad, you will this XYZ, you're dumb, you're that, you're this, that, right? And as younger kids, or whatever it may be, when we hear this, we actually internalize it. We start hearing it over and over and over again, and then we internalize it. And as we become an adult, we now embody, I'm not good enough, right? So if I'm not good enough was a person or in a relationship, they would essentially find ways to break up or end the relationship one way or another, right? And I don't know if that's you. It may be, right? And I know I'm just talking about a relationship here, but this applies to anything, right? If you're someone who embodies I'm not good enough because that's what you grew up hearing, right? You might not have the confidence to take the risk to apply to get that promotion, to get the job, to start your business, to be able to start something else to help you grow, right? Because you grew up hearing that I'm not good enough. And it may not even just be that you just grew up hearing it. You still to this day say it to yourself, right? I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. And I invite you, right, as I just said, we have to upgrade ourselves, right? I want you to take some time after today and start thinking about, where is it that you want to go? Who do you want to become? And what are some of the beliefs, the things that you say, right? The actions that you take that aren't serving you, right? What are some things that you do that are going to hold you back from getting to where you want to go? What are some things that you say or think, or even some people that are around you that say certain things, right? Like in this image, I'm not good enough, right? I'm telling you, if you don't upgrade yourself, if you don't upgrade your mindset, you're going to continue to do this, right? That's what's going to happen. That's just what it is, right? And then the next thing is this, right? A lot of people allow circumstances to dictate who they are, right? I know you might be struggling financially. I know you've been struggling financially for some time, but just because you're struggling financially doesn't mean who you are, right? That doesn't, right? As I mentioned earlier, there's nothing that I or anyone can do to change who you are, right? You are a seed of greatness. You have greatness inside of you, right? And as I mentioned, when I asked you from the very beginning, is who are you, right? When I ask you, who are you? It isn't your name. It's not where you are, right? Where you live, your circumstances, whether you're struggling, whether you're having, you're in the middle of a divorce or whatever. You are a seed of greatness. You have everything inside of you to be, do, and have whatever you desire, right? Your circumstances you should not confuse where you are with who you are, right? I hope that hit someone right there. I really hope you're picking up what I'm putting down there. All right. Don't confuse your circumstances with who you are. Okay. I'm gonna say that one more time. Don't confuse your circumstances with who you are. All right. Let me know what you thought about that. Let me know if that was very helpful, okay? So develop, right? Hopefully now you kind of see we've discovered who you truly are. You are greatness, right? And there's nothing that I or anyone can do, no circumstance that can change who you are, right? Who you are is who you are, not where you are, what someone is saying, what they think, what you grew up hearing. That is not you. You are greatness, right? You just have to become aware of it and upgrade yourself, right? Develop, right? It's one thing to know who you are, but it's it's another thing to be able to tap into that, right? To be able to unlock it, right? Many people know that, oh, there's so much information out there on how to, let's say, lose weight. There's so much information on how to cook certain foods or whatever it may be, but some people just don't apply the information, right? And I like to say that knowledge is, a lot of people like to say knowledge is power, right? I think I disagree with that, right? I like to say knowledge is potential power, right? Now, if you applying that knowledge is power, because I can know X, Y, and Z, but if I never apply it, it's never going to help her, right? Okay, perfect. Hopefully that makes sense. So developing our success formula. I think many people, and I guess there's a quick question here. This is more of like a question to think about to help make it make more sense. And it is this, right? If I asked you to bake a cake, a tiramisu cake, whatever it is, you know, some special meal or whatever, but you've never made it, you could probably easily do it, right? If you kind of knew how to cook, right? You don't have to be an expert. You maybe just have to have access to, you know, a cookbook or someone telling you, or getting access to training or whatever, and then you'd probably be able to do it, right? But what happens is within our life, right? Interestingly enough, there is no like success formula, or at least most people don't ever share it, right? And I want to be able to share with you, if that's okay, a success formula that is universal. You can apply it to any part of your life, whether it's within your relationships, health, wealth, mindset, whether it's you're trying to increase or improve your business, whatever it is, you can take this formula and use it to get whatever you desire, right? Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't it be amazing to have a formula that can allow you to get what you desire, right? You just have to follow the blueprint, right? And before I share this, I just want you to know that it is very simple, right? Simple meaning that it's doable, right? You can definitely do it. You take this, you see it right now, I guarantee that you can do it. The thing is, you have to be able, you have to one, commit and be able to do the thing, right? To get the stuff that you desire, okay? It's not like, oh, I know this, but that's about it, right? You have to be able to apply the information. So let me go ahead and share this with you, right? The success formula is this. It is be, do, have, right? The success formula is be, do, have, right? Have represents the desired goal that you want, right? Whether I want to have X amount of money, I want to have a better house, I want a better relationship with my family, with my spouse, my whatever it is, I want to increase revenue for my business, whatever it is that have, it represents the goal or the desire they have. Do represents the action you have to take, right? The things that you have to do to get that, right? For example, I love to give examples. As a goal for me, my have is I want to be the fastest runner in the world, like Usain Bolt, right? Easy. That's my goal, right? I'm sure you can agree that in order to get there, I have to do certain things, right? Like I have to probably practice maybe once or twice a day. I would have to do cold showers, or you know, to help the muscles recuperate. Maybe hot showers, hot compact, get massages to help, you know, stimulate the blood, muscles, and all that stuff, right? Eating better, right? Maybe stop eating fast food every single day, or you know, foods that like, I don't know, chips, things like that might not have the nutrients that I need, that my body needs to grow the muscles, right? You can all agree with that, right? Perfect. So in order for me to be the fastest runner in the world, I have to do certain things, right? Practice X, Y, and Z. But what happens is, and this is where I invite you to, you know, be very focused, is if I'm a lazy person, right? And this has to do with the B. A lot of people forget that if people, there's no issue with people having their goals and their desires, right? I don't have to tell you what you desire, what your goals are, right? You already have that. People understand that you have to do certain things, right? I want to improve my health. I got to go to the gym. What happens is many people who start trying to work on their health or whatever it may be, whatever the goal is, they'll start for a couple days, weeks, whatever, and then after they just stop because they haven't become the person, right? They haven't fulfilled that prerequisite of the B, right? They aren't the person, right? And as an example, right, if I was a lazy person and I still had that same goal of being the fastest run in the world, if I'm lazy, right, if I'm a lazy person, then I probably won't show up to practice on time, or I won't show up to the second practice during the day, right? I might want to sleep in. I may not be able to eat the foods that I need to eat, right, on a regular basis, right? And that's going to hold me back from doing the things that I'm supposed to, that will eventually hold me back from getting what I desire. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Put it in the chat. Let me know if that makes sense, right? In order for you to get what you desire, you have to be able and willing to do the things that get the stuff. But what happens is most people forget that in order to do those things, you have to become the person that can do those things, right? You have to become, right? In other words, you have to upgrade yourself. And so maybe, right, maybe a question to ask yourself, rather than thinking of what kind of workouts that I should be doing, or whatever it is that you have to do, maybe asking yourself, who do I need to become to get the things that I want? Who do I need to become to have a better life, to have a happier life, to have a better a relationship with myself, with my family? Who do I need to become to build wealth? Who do I need to become to increase revenue in my business? Who do I need to become to be able to do the things that get the stuff, right? Who do I need to become? So I invite you to think about that. Take some time after this. Ask yourself, who do I need to become to do the things that I need to do that get the stuff? Whatever that goal is for you. Let me know if that was good. Let me know if that was good. Okay. The next thing is this. I want to help you build confidence, right? I think a key thing as to why many people can't do the thing that they desire, or excuse me, the thing that they have to do to get what they desire, is because they lack self-confidence, right? As you remember, I lacked self-confidence growing up, right? And to this day, right, I've been able to build up my own confidence, right? And so a quick question to ask you is this: do you struggle sticking to your word? And what I mean by that is, let's say you're trying to work on your health, right? You want, many people during New Year's time, they get excited, they're around their family, friends, and New Year's Day comes, like, I'm going to commit, I'm gonna do it. Felipe, I love what you're talking about. I'm gonna do it, right? And then after a couple days, weeks, they just stop. But what happened, right? I thought you said you were gonna do the thing, right? What happens is a lot of people struggle sticking with their word, right? And I invite you to ask yourself that and be honest, right? There's nothing, and I highly encourage you to be completely honest with yourself. There's nothing worse than lying, or giving up an excuse to justify why you aren't where you want to be, right? Be honest. Right. I'm telling you, I used to struggle with sticking to my word. All right. I lacked that confidence. Right. And if that's the case, what happens is, and this is just to help you kind of better understand, is like confidence, if you were to break that word down, it means to entrust, right? To entrust, right? And so many people who have confidence, they entrust in themselves that they will do whatever they said that they're going to do, right? So now if I say I'm going to be the fastest runner in the world, I know that and again, if I have that confidence, right, I'm going to show up every single day. I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do and get the desire that I have, right? I'm going to get it, right? But what happens is, as long as you lack trust in yourself, right, Because so many people, and this is just me being honest, right? I have so many family friends that I just speak to and stuff like that, and they say, oh, you know what? Yeah, on Monday I'm gonna start. On Monday, bro, on Monday I'm gonna start juicing. On Monday I'm gonna do this. On Monday I'm gonna start. Right, right. On Monday I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get back into it. On Monday I'm gonna start. Right. And when Monday comes around, they're not doing anything. Right? Because they lack that self-confidence. They lack the trust in themselves, right? And when I talk about confidence, I'm talking about the trust in yourself that you're going to do the thing, right? Because confidence is essentially the trust that you have in yourself to deliver what you said you're going to do, right? So when someone says they have, or they have great confidence, or they have a lot of confidence, essentially what they're saying is that that's someone who will do what they said that they're going to do. I'm going to say that one more time because this is very key, right? But having confidence essentially means you being someone who knows, right? Who knows that they're going to do what they said that they're going to do, right? Because if you can do what you said you're going to do, right? Start on Monday, show up every day, right? You're going to get the result that you desire, right? If you become the person who can do, like, who can stick to their word, you're going to get whatever you desire. Right. And a hack here, this is what I want to share with you, is that I think a lot of people, right, and maybe you're watching this now, you kind of, you've discovered who you truly are. You're seeing how you can use different tools, right, to become your greatest self, right? You're focusing, okay, I got to become my greatest self, right? I love what you're talking about, Felipe. I'm going to do it. This Monday, I'm going to start, or I'm going to start today. I'm going to do it, right? I think a huge issue with many people, and it, hopefully this helps someone, because I think you have to hear this, right? And I'm speaking to you, is that a lot of people try to start whatever their goal is, they try to start doing it by doing it all, right? Like, let's say you're trying to work on your health. Okay, I'm going to work on my health. That means I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, and then after I'm going to do my shower at 6 a.m., and then I'm going to have my oats, right? And I'm gonna start tracking my macros and nutrients, and then I'm gonna give up all the fast food and the snacks that I loved before, right? It's too much, right? Ultimately, you're going to stop because you can't become, you're growing too fast. And don't get me wrong, people can definitely do that. You can shift yourself by such a degree and get the results faster. But what happens is most people can't sustain that, right? You're not even there yet. What I encourage you to do is start today by committing to one action. Start somewhere, right? And stick to that, right? Let's say you're trying to work on that health. Start by committing to every single day, going on a walk, right? Go on a walk every single day for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for 30 minutes, at the same exact time, right? If it's 5 p.m., every day, 7 days a week, right? I'm going to go on a 10-minute walk at 5 p.m. Commit to that. If you can commit to that, I promise you, you're going to go from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. And then from there, well, you know what? I'm already walking. Why not jog? Let's start jogging, right? And if you can't jog because, maybe your health or whatever it is, that's totally fine. Maybe go on a bicycle, right? If that's not your cup of tea, go swimming. Whatever it is that works for you, just start by committing somewhere. You have to commit to one thing, because once you commit to that, let's say 5-minute walk, and then you do it for 30 days, right? You're going to start building that confidence. You're going to build proof, right? That you are someone that sticks to their word, right? And that's what we need. You need to build that proof that you are someone that sticks to their word, right? And that's what builds up the confidence, right? You go from the 5 minutes to the 10 minutes to the jogging for half an hour, and then from the half an hour to doing a full 1 hour workout, right? And I invite you, right? Being here today, you have access to our 30-day growth challenge, right? It lays out the complete blueprint that's going to allow you to become the person that you need to become, that can do the things that get the stuff, right? So if you're ready, I encourage you to commit to one thing, and also looking at the 30-day growth challenge so that it helps support you in that journey, right? Design, right? Start operating out of purpose, right? As I mentioned, we've covered, you've discovered who you truly are. You develop some tools to become that person, right? But what about designing, right? I think a lot of people will we operate out of, I want this goal, I want this, right? But what if you, rather than focusing on the goal or the desire, you focus on the person you want to become that will automatically get whatever you desire? Like, what if you could become a person that has the good health, has the wealth, has great relationships, has a business, has self-confidence, and whatever else that you desire, right? Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, if I could just focus on becoming the person, then I'm going to automatically get the health, get the wealth, get the, whatever it is. I'm going to get it all. Wouldn't you want to do that then? Right? So I invite you to think about that, right? Maybe start operating out of purpose. Start operating out of becoming the person rather than the goal that you desire, right? So mission, right? What is your why, right? I don't know if any of you have ever thought about a mission, right? Like, and I'm not talking about like the missions, the churches and all that stuff. I'm talking about a mission of what is it that you stand for? Like, what are your standards, right? Again, as I kind of mentioned earlier, like, are you someone who sticks to their word, right? What kind of person are you? And a key thing as you start trying to grow, as you start trying to live a more prosperous life and start breaking free from limiting beliefs, the fear of failure, self-doubt, self-sabotage, right? Getting away from that feeling of I'm not good enough. um, you have to understand what's your why. Like, you have to have a strong why, because there's going to be days where you start questioning yourself. There's going to be days where you don't feel like working out or exercising or doing what you have to do to be there, to show up for yourself, to get the stuff that you desire, right? So what is your why, right? And I invite you, right, whether you're watching this live, do this afterwards, or if you're watching the recording, take pause, right? Pause this and take some time and think about this. Ask yourself, what is your why? Whatever that goal is that you desire, I want you to ask, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Is this for yourself? Is this for your family? Is this for a greater cause? What is this for? You need to know what your why is, right? What pushes you to do the tough and challenging things on a daily basis, right? And vision, right? In case you've never thought about this, operating out of purpose, right? As you start to operate out of purpose, one thing that you have to think about is your vision, right? Where are you going, right? What person do you want to become? Think about like a legacy, right? I, as a person in general, I want to have a great health, right? So that when I have my kids, right, I want to be able to be there for my kids. I want to have the energy so that I can hang out with them, play, show them things, right? So that's why health is so important for me, because my vision is I want to be there for my family. And as you kind of remember, or if you remember, we were raised by a single mother, right? So our dad was never really there to create those memories with us, right? So I, as a person, within my own experiences, I want to have better health so that I can have the energy to be there with my kids and actually be there for them, right? So you see kind of how I'm connecting everything to my own experiences and things like that. I want you to think about that. What's your vision, right? If you're talking about relationships, what kind of person do you want to be so that you can have a better relationship, right? What do you need to do on a daily basis to get there, right? What are some things that you want to teach your family, whether you're planning to have family in the future or you have some kids now, right? What kind of because the thing is this, and this is to all my parents here listening, right? It is this: who you are is what your kids are going to accept and receive, right? What you as a person, who you are, right? Whatever you do as that person, your kids are going to learn from, right? As I mentioned earlier, like we were talking about how maybe some of our parents, who would tell us, oh, you're not good enough, you're just like this and that. they probably went through certain things that maybe they were told that, and because that's what they continue to believe to this day, will pass it on to their kids or to anyone around them, right? I invite you to upgrade yourself, because if you truly believe that you're not good enough, you will most likely pass that on to your kids. And I don't want that, right? Again, we are all seeds of greatness. You have greatness inside of you. And be it would hurt to see someone who I know that they know they have greatness inside of them, not get rid of any of those limiting beliefs or limitations, and pass them down to their kids, right? Because we're literally we're creating the same cycle over and over again, right? So take some time, right? Again, if you're watching this live afterwards, ask yourself, where are you going, right? What person do you want to become, right? Just imagine if you could be the person that gets all the things that you desire, right? And so here's some gems that I want to share with you that are going to really help you on your journey. A key one is disaster follows intention, right? I know many of you are probably really excited. You might be saying, okay, Felipe, I love what you said. Thank you so much. I'm going to start today. I'm going to start this Monday. I'm going to start whatever it is. I'm going to start. When you set your intention, when you commit, I want you to understand that disaster follows intention, right? As an example, when you commit to going to the gym, right? You haven't gone for a couple years, whatever it is, and then you said, I'm going to start. I'm going to do it. I love this workshop. Thank you so much, Felipe. I'm going to start. Let's go. When you start doing that, you're going to start feeling sore, right? Most people go to the gym to be strong, to get strong, right? But when you first start, right, disaster follows intention. You're going to feel sore. Your muscles are going to hurt. You're not going to be able to sit down, things like that. And when that happens, it's part of the journey. It's part of the process. I want you to understand that. You're going to start questioning yourself. Well, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me, right? Because your old self would say that. Oh, you know what? Actually, no, I'm sore. No, I got to take a day off, right? Maybe that's something you have to think about, right? Another example is this. Let's say you wanted to cleanse yourself, cleanse your body, right? You want to get rid of all the toxins, things like that. When you do a juice cleanse, right? A lot of people do it to have a cleaner body, more energy, whatever it is, right? But when you do that cleanse, you don't automatically feel amazing, right? You actually feel bad. Your body starts getting rid of all these things, and you kind of have, not to be whatever, but you have diarrhea. You might have diarrhea. You might feel uneasy, right? Because your body's getting rid of all the for lack of a better word, all the nasty stuff, all the things that don't serve you, right? So disaster follows intention. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is I want you to understand that whatever you desire and you commit to something, I want you to understand that it is going to be challenging at the very beginning. Not because it's not for you, not because you don't deserve it, not because no. It's because you're just going through the process. That's just what it is. And I want you to understand that. Okay. The next is you must be willing to dream big. I highly encourage you, I invite you to dream big, right? We are all seeds of greatness. You have greatness inside of you, right? There is no limit. As we talk, like when we're born, we have no limit. Our potential is unlimited, right? But what happens is as we grow up, we hear things like, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're just like that. Yeah, right. And we embody that, right? So we have to be able to upgrade our mindsets to be able to break free from that, right? Disassociate from it, right? To become our greatest selves, right? Take risks, right? Allow yourself to fail, right? I think so many people have this fear of failure because in schools, growing up, we see failing as a bad thing, right? I want you to know that, and this is a new, maybe for you, this is a new way of thinking, is that failing is good, right? Failing is actually real good for you, right? Because there's two ways you can learn. One, by succeeding, and two, by failing, right? Most people, you will only be able to learn certain things by failing, right? And I think a lot of people, because they understand failure as a bad thing, when they fail to show up or they fail to get the results that they desire, that they think automatically, oh, that's not good for that's not for me. See, I told you, you're not good enough. See, you will never get healthy. You will never, X, Y, or Z. I want you to know when you fail, let's say there's a day where you just don't show up, you can't, whatever, start all over, right? Give yourself the grace to keep going because you deserve it, right? You deserve it. Don't let the false belief of failure being a bad thing hold you back from becoming your greatest self, right? And I'll be honest, I just to share, make sure that you fully understand this. There's times where, I mean, even to this day, I'm failing on certain things, right? There's times where I don't show up for myself, right? But I get back up and I continue to go, right? And so I'll finish off here with this. I want you to just imagine, right? I want you to imagine, where will you be in 3, 6, or 12 months, right? And close your eyes if you need to. Think about it. Where do you want to see yourself in 3 months, in half a year, in a year, right? Who will you be? What person will you become? What goals will you achieve, right? What are the things that you will be doing, right? Who will be around in your circle, right? Maybe you need to change that, right? Maybe you need to upgrade. Think about that, right? You have a choice to make today, right? After today, there is no reason for you not to be able to become your greatness, right? Because one, you've discovered who you truly are, that greatness. Two, you've developed the insight, right, on how to become that, right? And then three, you've designed the person that you need to become, right, to get everything that you desire. There's no reason for you not to be able to do these things, right, to get what you desire. There is no reason other than just not committing or not taking action, right? You have to make the choice whether you're going to commit or you're just going to continue to do the same thing. And the reason why I say this is because there there is no other there is no other reason that it's going to hold you back, right? You just have to go through the process, right? As I mentioned, this is simple, but the thing is, simple is you just being able to do the thing, right? It depending on what you desire, it may be a challenge for you, and it should be a challenge for you because again, you are a seed of greatness. You should be challenging yourself so that you can become more, right? So with that, I'll leave you today. Whether let's see if we have any questions. I'd like to open it up for you all. If not, I'll leave it there. Let me go ahead and stop sharing.